Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Kingdom Inspired Kids podcast, where parents talk. I am your host, Calvette Boyd, and today we're getting real. Not Pinterest perfect, not Instagram perfect, not TikTok perfect, but real. So, welcome to Kingdom Inspired Kids podcast, where parents talk. Let me paint a picture for you. It's 6:30 a.m. Your alarm goes off. You had a plan. You had a routine. You had the lunch boxes lined up from last night. The clothes are laid out. You even did that thing last night. You told yourself, tomorrow we're going to be on time. Oh my gosh. And then life happens. Y'all, listen here. When I tell you that this is my story, this is my story. Oh my God. I got to laugh to keep from crying. Your child wakes up early, already frustrated because the tag on their shirt feels wrong. Then you might have another one of your children. They refuse to eat breakfast. They loved it yesterday, but today they don't like it. One kid can't find a shoe. The dog stole a pancake. The cat has their socks. Your kid is running around with one sock on and I'm talking about nobody can figure out where the backpack has gone. Oh my God, when I tell y'all, this is my story. If any of this sounds familiar, you are absolutely in the right place. I'm telling y'all, just talking about this, I'm having to dry my eyes because this is not that Instagram reel that people love to see and they paint the picture of what's really good, or TikTok. You see the video and it looks like everything is just so grand. Honey, it is not that. This is real. Many ADHD families, routines are not just schedules for us. They're survival systems. This is how we do it. We have to have a plan. But even the best routines break, they fall apart, and they unravel. And sometimes it's daily. Listen, if I had to tell you guys some of the things that I go through in the morning time, nobody, unless you're a parent like me that has a kid with ADHD or ADD, would understand what I'm talking about. It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. It is what people call a blank show. Yeah, it's that sometimes is what people call it. This thing is so real. It happens sometimes every single day. You got a plan. You already know what's for lunch. Lunch boxes lined out. All you got to do is grab stuff, and then everything falls apart. And today, we are going to talk about the truth behind messy mornings, why meltdowns happen during transitions, why your child's behavior is really what they call communicating, and how being real, not perfect, actually builds a stronger, calmer home. So listen, breathe in, breathe out. Let's try that one more time. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's talk about what really happens behind closed doors and how we can support our children through it. Lord Jesus, that's all I can say. Sometimes I get up and I'm like, Jesus, take the wheel. I'm not a singer or any of that, but sometimes I'll just be walking through the house saying, Jesus, take the wheel. Like, because I need him to take the wheel because it's falling apart. Listen, when the routine falls apart, what's actually happening in the brain of the person that has the ADHD? Most parents think routine breakdowns are behavior issues, but breakdowns usually come from transition overload. The ADHD brain struggles switching from one state to another, sleep to wake, fun to responsibility, home to school. So it creates in their brain, it creates confusion, physical restlessness, big feelings with no words, emotional resistance, all kinds of crazy stuff that goes on. Let me give you an example. You tell your child, I tell my daughter, I've been saying this for the past 10 years. You don't have to come in the kitchen to put on your shoes. So I'll say, put your shoes on. They can't even start putting their shoes on because their brain is still in play mode and their meltdown is not defiance because they have one sometimes. It's a neurological overload. Nobody told me. Are you serious? It's an overload. They're not being defiant. 10 years now, I've been saying, you do not have to come in the kitchen to put your shoes on. Please put your shoes on in your room before you come into the kitchen. I was thinking for a long time it was defiance, like the child just didn't want to do what I wanted her to do. When actually it's a neurological overload. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Sensory triggers. The morning is full of different sensory attacks. You ever gone into your child's room and they start saying like, oh my God, Mom, why do you have the light on? Turn the light out, turn the light out. The light is too bright for them. You ever had your child having a whole meltdown because you said go brush your teeth? Oh my gosh, I got one for you. My child, we can prepare. We can prepare to the teeth. We've been preparing. Okay, so we had a break a little bit ago for school, and so we were preparing over break. I'm like, okay, let's wash your clothes, let's iron them, let's put your outfits out. And my child's older, but it just works for us. And then I say, hey, go get your clothes together. Oh my gosh, we picked out 5 days of outfits, and now all of a sudden none of these outfits work. And I thought it was me. No. It can be a sensory trigger. Or what about this? You tell your child to go brush their teeth and they start crying just because you said brush your teeth and you wonder why. It's a sensory trigger. Or my kid has said, oh my gosh, I don't like the way what are you washing dishes with? Or what's in the mop water? That smells. It smells so different. Or let me give you an example. Your child screams because the shirt they put on feels wrong. We think it's drama. My kid can change the shirt 3 or 4 times. Now, remember, I did say that we plan our outfits out for the week. But the shirt that they picked, it feels wrong. Listen, we think it's drama. It is not drama. It is hypersensitivity. ADHD is often tied to sensory processing issues. So that's something that you can write down and talk to your doctor about. Working memory challenges. Your child forgets their toothpaste. They don't know where it is. We lost the backpack. We just had it the night before in the chair by the door or hanging on the doorknob to go out of the house. They forget it. They didn't wear their deodorant today. Mom, can you bring me some deodorant to the school? I forgot my deodorant. Dad, I forgot to brush my teeth. Can you turn back around? I need to go brush my teeth. They forget their homework. You just told them to do something 30 minutes ago or 30 seconds ago. Let's say 30 seconds, not even 30 minutes ago. You just said, Johnny, I need you to go get your jacket so we can get ready to go out of the door. But they sometimes forget. So these are memory challenges. It's not that your child is being disrespectful. It's not that they're being lazy. It's a brain that forgets even when it wants to remember. Now, let's talk about the meltdown moments. Oh, Lord Jesus. What they mean and how to respond. Let's break down the messy realities and the strategies that help. You guys ever have the I don't want to in the mornings? I don't want to wake up. That's because they feel like they need more time for their brain to boot up. So what do? Give them a gentle wake up window, not a single alarm. So instead of, if we get up at 6 a.m., instead of just the 6 a.m. alarm, I might do a 5:50 alarm, a 5:55 alarm, and a 6 a.m. alarm. These are things to do. So write these down. So what do during moment one when they have the I don't want to? I don't want to get up. I need 5 more minutes. Remember, they need more time for their brain to boot up is actually what they're telling you. But honey, I don't feel like that's what it is sometimes in the morning time. And I'm just being real. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, can we just have a good day? And then I start my song, Jesus, take the wheel, because I need you to take the wheel, Jesus, because I feel like I'm about to lose it. But I need Jesus to take the wheel. So another thing you can do now, make sure you're writing this down. Use a calm, steady voice. So instead of yelling, get up, I told you to get up 5 minutes ago. I told you 30 minutes ago. I keep coming in here. We don't want to do that. Okay. So use a calm, steady voice. Johnny, it's time to wake up. Or good morning, Johnny. It's time to wake up. Often offer them micro choices. So in another podcast, I talked about giving too many choices is hard for kids sometimes that have ADHD because it's just too much for their brain to process. If you say, go pick out an outfit, Johnny, would you like the red shirt or would you like the blue shirt? Keep the lights low at first. If you know your kid's going to start saying things like, the lights are so bright, Mama, turn off the lights. If you know that, turn on a lamp and then turn on the big light, the overhead light in the room. What you don't want to do when they're having the I don't want to morning, don't rush. Don't nag them. Oh my gosh. We say don't nag the children and the children nag us, but no nagging. Don't be loud. Just remain calm and expect them to cooperate with you. Even when they don't want to, they can hear the tone in your voice that knows that you mean business. So expect them to cooperate. Moment number 2, the emotional explosion. You got the tears, the yelling, the falling out, all of that stuff. But this usually happens not because you did something wrong, mom, dad, guardian, parents. It happens because there's too many instructions. They need simple things. Johnny, good morning, Johnny. It's time to wake up. Or there's too much sensory input. There could be too little time. I can tell you my daughter does not like being rushed at all. Oh my gosh, mom, you're rushing me. I feel like you're rushing me. I don't like that. Now I got to get rushed because we got up late. Look at my face. It happens. So as a parent, just know that they are not yelling and screaming and falling out because it's something you did. Sometimes it's just too many instructions for them. They're overstimulated. It's too much sensory input. They feel like they're being rushed, and then it triggers their nervous system sometimes. So just know that it's not just you. So the key, it's not you. I apologize. It's not you. The key is co-regulation. So your calm becomes their calm. If you start yelling, they start yelling. If you get loud, they get loud. So we don't want to do those kind of things. Instead, you want to say, Johnny, you're having a hard moment. I'm right here. Johnny, let's practice these breathing exercises together. Johnny, we can fix this together. But what you want to avoid as a parent, don't tell your child to stop crying. That does not work. It absolutely does not work. Or, this is mine, you're just so dramatic. They just get more dramatic. They get more dramatic. It does not calm them down. Or when I'm saying, hurry up, we gotta go. I gotta be at work. Look at my face. As parents, that is something that we should not be doing because it doesn't work. Moment number 3. You guys ever have the last minute chaos? The last minute chaos. The lost items, the forgotten work, the rushing. This is working memory plus executive functioning. It's not disorganization, but that's what we think it is sometimes. So what helps is a visual checklist, a night before backpack routine. I try to get my daughter to make sure that she has all of her snacks, all of your feminine hygiene items that you need to carry. If there's medication that has to be taken in the morning, I already have that out. If my kid takes her lunch every day, so I try to make sure that the lunch is packed. Hey, let's fix your lunch for tomorrow. Let's make sure you've got your snacks for tomorrow. And then a timer for morning transition. So, okay, you got 15 minutes, and then the timer goes off for, to do what you have to do in the bathroom. You got 15 minutes to get your clothes on. Things like that. It just makes it easier for them. Now, the truth, your child needs to be real, not perfect. So this is where transformation happens. Children with ADHD are sensitive, they're intuitive, and they're deeply aware of your emotions. Oh, did I say that out loud? They are deeply aware of our emotions. When you pretend everything is fine, they feel the tension anyway. When you fall apart, they internalize guilt. But when you're real, when you say, this morning was tough, but we got through it. You felt overwhelmed, but that's okay. Let's try it again in the morning. I get frustrated too, but I still love you. And I always will. I had to tell my daughter today, I'm so sorry for yelling at you. Most parents are like, I'm not apologizing to my kid, but I think I overreacted today. So I had to go to my child and say, you know what? I overreacted. I'm sorry that I yelled at you. I could have handled that different. And she smiled at me. She smiled at me and we got through it. But when you tell them things like, I'm sorry, or let's try it again tomorrow, or I get frustrated too, but I still love you always, you're teaching them how to regulate their emotions. You're teaching them resilience, self acceptance, because we have to accept ourselves and love ourselves. You're teaching them compassion and empathy, and you're also teaching them problem solving. But being real gives your child permission to be real too. And you're modeling transparency, grace, recovery, and communication. It's not about perfect routines because nothing is perfect. It's about a connection during your imperfect moments and about that connection that you continue to build every single day. So, tools to fix future routine breakdowns. Here are some practical, detailed strategies specific to households like mine that are ADHD. The morning body regulation. You can get a weighted blanket for them waking up. You can get up and slow stretch together. Sometimes I like to have my music playlist going. And then don't forget low light. So if they're, Mom, the light is too bright, turn the light out. Just make sure that you maybe turn on a lamp or closet light and then turn on, let their eyes get adjusted to that. And then turn on the big light, the overhead light. Is that a lot of work? Yes. But if it makes your day easier and your morning easier, hey, it's something worth trying. The next thing is a visual morning routine chart. Not verbal, visual. I used to take a dry erase marker and write on the bathroom mirror. Listen, if you know me, like I like things a certain way, but I would write on the mirror in the bathroom, brush your teeth, wash your face, take your shower, brush your teeth, take your medicine, whatever it was I wanted wanted her to do or them to do. I would write it and I would make a little box, a little square, and then she could check it off. Check it off. Then I erase it and then make those squares again for the next morning. Or for that evening, I erased the whole thing and then put it up there, what I needed her to do for that evening. It just makes it easier. With that visual, any kind of visual chart makes it easier for them because the ADHD brain, is so unique and is so creative. Like our children are so super smart. These are like geniuses. But their brain processes a picture faster than it does words that you're saying. So if they can see it, then it's easier for them. So you want to break down the routine into micro steps, not get up, get ready. You want to do, like I said, brush your teeth, put on your deodorant, or brush your teeth, wash your body, wash your face, wash your body, put your deodorant on, put your shirt on, put on your pants, put on your socks, put on your shoes. A lot of people have said, that is too much. Do you have to do that? Yes. It makes it easier. And if you do that when they're younger, like they grow into that routine and it just becomes easier and easier for them. Each checked off step for them builds like executive functioning. Sometimes if you need to make space for like a 60-second, like a 1-minute reset, when they start losing control in the morning time, you might have to give them a hug. My daughter's like, oh my God, mom, I don't need you hugging me like I'm a teenager. And I'm just like, oh, girl, come here. Let me give you a hug. Let me give you some of this mama love. Or sometimes we might take breaths. And it's funny because I learned the breathing thing with my kid going to counseling. But heck, I've used those same things when it comes to, those meltdowns in the morning when, she feels like she's out of control, or I feel like she's out of control with, because she can't find her backpack, or I'm telling her to put her shoes on before she gets to the kitchen, things like that. I might have to say, just take a deep breath, hold it for 10 seconds, breathe out. So you got to think about those things. And then this one is something that I am personally working on. Whispering, not talking loud. I am so loud, y'all. I'm loud. But I'm learning that that's not always, that's just my personality. But I'm learning that I need to be calmer so that it calms her as well. Or it calms, people that are around me that have ADHD. And parents, I want you to give yourself a little grace too, because if the parent is dysregulated, the whole house feels dysregulated and out of control. All right, guys. If today's episode spoke to you, you know this. You got this. You're not failing. You're not alone. And your child's not broken. You're not broken. Messy mornings and routine breakdowns are not signs of weakness. They're signs that your child needs support, structure, and compassion during their transition moments. And you are doing the most important work in the world. You get up every day. You show up every day. Even in the chaos, even when it falls apart, you still show up. And that's what we do as parents. We show up. So we show up every day. Your child doesn't have or doesn't need a perfect parent, because remember, no one on this earth is perfect. Only Jesus is. But what your child does need is a parent that's present, patient, and real. So before we wrap up, remember this. Routines, even if they're messy mornings, they fall apart or whatever, routines can be rebuilt. Meltdowns can be recovered from. Mornings can get better. And you and your child can grow stronger through every single messy moment that you may have. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Kingdom Inspired Kids podcast. This podcast really hit home for me. And if this episode encouraged you, I want you to share it with another parent who might be struggling through the messy morning chaos. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. I will see you guys next Wednesday at 7 a.m. Central Time. Until then, keep believing, keep showing up, keep inspiring your kid, even on the messy days. And just know that God's got you, your kids love you, and so do I. And I hope you guys have a great remaining rest of your day. Until next Wednesday, I'll see you guys soon. Have a great